Hello, and welcome to Cybersecurity Awareness Training. Some of the things we're going to talk about today are some of the most common and dangerous methods that a malicious actor will try to get through your computer. We're not going to be talking about people picking locks and things like that. We're going to be talking about topics like social engineering, detecting and protecting against cyber attacks, and then finally, we're going to be talking about password security. Staying safe when in public. First way to stay safe when out in public is connect to legitimate Wi-Fi only. Obviously, when you're out in public, avoid websites that expose personal or financial data. Know what websites you're going to and putting your information on. And lastly, you can use a firewall or a VPN to make sure that your data is being protected. USB safety. First off, USB devices are very easy to steal because they are small. USBs also have the ability to be used to hack networks and compromise businesses. So if you're walking through the parking lot and you find a USB drive, don't just pick it up and plug it into your computer. Take it to IT, say, hey, I found this in the parking lot. I just want to make sure that it doesn't belong to someone. IT can investigate it and figure out who it belongs to, if it's employees or something like that. Make sure your USB drives are blank. If you're using them, if they're just sitting around, don't keep important information on them. And lastly, you can protect your data on a USB drive by putting a password on it and encrypting the data. Social media security. When it comes to social media, one of the things you want to be mindful of is if you're even allowed to use social media at the organization. When you're using social media, making sure that you're not naming or referencing customers, partners, or suppliers. Never disclose personal or confidential organizational information. Making sure you're using a different password for your social media accounts. Mobile security. What do we need to know about mobile security? All of us have mobile phones for different types of things. We have our email on them. You probably use your phone for two-factor authentication. So one of the most important things about our cell phones is they are always hackable. That's why Apple and Android release security patches all the time. They're finding vulnerabilities on them that need to be patched to make sure that your information doesn't get stolen. So some of the ways that we can prevent mobile threats from happening is if you're not using Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, disable Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Hackers will use open Bluetooth and open Wi-Fi to try to attack and hack your mobile phone. Another way to make sure that you're staying safe is that you're only installing apps from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, never from a third-party website, because the Apple Store and the Google Play Store have vetted apps that they know are safe. In addition, always install the latest phone patches when they're released, because they're meant to improve device security. What is BEC? BEC stands for Business Email Compromise, and it's a type of phishing that is used to impersonate a higher up employee. So if you're in city government, the city manager is impersonated, or if you're a CEO, you have the ability to be impersonated. It's the type of email that says, please please buy gift cards and scratch off the codes and send it to me because I want to thank my employees. That's a business. That's a BEC. That's a business email compromise. And here's an example of a BEC. Ways to identify BEC is if the email seems urgent from someone that normally doesn't send urgent emails. If the email has spelling or grammar mistakes, never hit reply. Instead, form a new email to the person that you think sent this email, or better yet, get on the phone and call them. Say, hey, did you send me this email? This email looks suspicious. I just want to verify. As always, follow your organizational protocols and procedures. When in doubt, contact IT for additional assistance. So we've heard this word phishing a lot. What is phishing? Phishing is when a hacker pretends to be someone you trust to gain full access to your computer or sensitive information. Basically, they try to trick you into giving them personal information, such as your name, your phone number, social security number, bank account information. How do we detect phishing and protect ourselves? First, we look at any links that are in the emails and verify that the link is pointing to an official website. Second, you verify the sender's email. Is it coming from who I think it's coming from, and not some random Gmail or Yahoo or AOL email address, and not from a organizational email domain. And lastly, if you need to log into a website, don't click on the link in the email. Just open up your internet browser, go to that website directly, and access the website that way. Here are just a few examples of phishing. Obviously, fake Dropbox email to a link with a link in it, or if IT sends you an email asking you to reset your password, or if you're in accounts payable or accounts receivable, if you get an invoice from a vendor with fraudulent information in it, or even HR sending you an email alerting you about an issue with, your W-2 or something like that. What can you do to protect your password and create a strong password? Having a strong password is very important. Putting phrases together with a combination of letters and numbers. So if you think of things you like, put those together, put a special character between them, then you got a unique password. What is ransomware? Ransomware is a type of malicious software that gets onto a specific endpoint or device and then encrypts all the data. Then they request that you pay Bitcoin to unlock your files. Big targets of ransomware have been medical facilities or governments because they're considered high-value targets. Most common source of ransomware is through phishing emails. So how do we avoid ransomware? Follow all the phishing email protocols. Don't click on any links. Don't open any suspicious email attachments. Keep your devices up to date. That means keeping your computer up to date, your phone up to the latest patches, software updates. What is vishing? Vishing is when an attacker poses as someone you trust. So, for example, calls about your vehicle warranty expiring and to press 1 to talk to someone. That's an example of a vishing attempt. Another common example is your bank calling you about suspicious activity on your account, when in reality, it's not the bank that's calling you, it's an attacker, a hacker, trying to get access, social engineer their way into your accounts. So make sure that if you do get a call from someone posing that you think might be suspicious, never give them any information, never give up your password or your personal information. What is smishing? Smishing is similar to phishing, but it's via text message rather than email. So as you can see from the example, this is a great example of a smishing attempt. It says you've won a $10,000 Best Buy gift card. The 10,000, the comma's in the wrong place, and Best Buy is spelled wrong. So this sticks out as a perfect example of a smishing attempt. PCI DSS, what is it? PCI DSS is the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. So basically what it is the credit card industry, MasterCard, Visa, etc., got together and developed this payment card standard that addresses vulnerabilities and provides organizations best practices for if you're processing credit card data. So for example, if you don't comply with PCI DSS, you can face significant fines and lose the ability to collect credit cards payments. And you could also damage your reputation or your organization. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, better known as HIPAA, is a federal law that created national standards to protect sensitive patient health information. PHI, or Protected Health Information, is anything that can identify a patient as well as their medical insurance information. So their name, their medical history, their treatments, it's all covered under HIPAA. That is all for the training today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your IT department and they will gladly answer any questions. Thank you and have a great day.